Hey, what is going on, guys? SlickJoe here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day as always, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be triggering some people big time because we are revisiting the top 5 guns in Infinite Warfare Zombies. I made one of these when IW first came out and it did fairly well, so I figured why not do it again now that IW Zombies is over, since a lot of different weapons have been added and some have been changed over the past year. But with that, make sure to pack a punch that like button. You get it? Because, you know, zombies, you pack a punch, it's a joke.
You serious?
Let's see if we can hit 50 likes on this video. That would be insane. And as always, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. That would be great. And let's hop into the list. So starting us off here, we're going to be talking about an honorable mention gun that didn't quite make the cut for this list, but I still wanted to mention it because it is a really good gun, and that is the Kendall 44 starting pistol. Now, some of you may be pissed off by this and why it's your favorite gun, you want this to be on the list, but just hear me out. Let me tell you guys why I did not include this on the main list, but I definitely wanted to give it that honorable mention spot. So this gun is actually really good. Like I said, it's the starting pistol. It's very helpful on almost all Easter eggs, but it's not really needed. It's like a helpful perk to have. It can make your life a little bit easier, but it's not something that you need, and it's not required to complete these Easter eggs. You can get by without it. It's great for getting you out of sticky situations. And like I said, most maps you start with it, except for I think Rave and Beast are the only ones you don't start with it, so you don't have to always get it out of the box. But you do have to get a max ammo. You can't buy it off the wall or anything. You just start out with the gun. And you need quite a bit of points to kind of get it started, because you need to have Bomb Stoppers, the perk, which is 1,500 points. And you also need to pack a punch it at least once to get it into kind of a working position where it's actually a functional and usable weapon. So that's a total of 6,500 points that you need just to get started with this gun. Granted, you do get it right from the start, but still, like I said, not needed. Very helpful, but not needed. So that is why it got the honorable mention spot. Now let's move on to the actual list, and starting us off with number 5, we have the KBS Longbow sniper rifle, and it is actually super good. Some of you guys may be questioning why I would put a sniper rifle on the list, but it's actually a super good weapon. You can buy it off the wall in most maps so that you can get ammo that way no matter what, anytime you need. Has super high damage, so it's really good for high rounds. And when you double pack a punch it, it shoots like 5 or 6 bullets at a time at the cost of just 1 bullet out of your magazine. So that is super good. As you can see in the footage, it shoots a good spread of like 6 bullets. It's almost like a shotgun. And when you pair it with the perk Deadhead, what the fuck's it called? Deadeye Dewdrops. Deadhead, where the fuck did I get that? It makes it even better because you can no scope with ease. It's almost like I said, a shotgun at that point, because the spread really tightens up and you can hit zombies no scope from real far away. And it just makes it really convenient if you need to just get some zombies out of the way in front of you. It's actually a really good gun, and I actually do like to use it, especially when I get up to those higher rounds. Now, it's not the greatest for Easter eggs. It's definitely not my first choice for an Easter egg. Like I said, high rounds is really good, but the reason it's so far back on the list is because it's not good for point building. Like I said, not good for Easter eggs. It's kind of that gun where once you're kind of far into your game and you're thinking, oh, you're getting to a higher round, what would be a good gun for me to get to kind of survive this? I have a bunch of points already built up, and I would say that would be the KBS Longbow, which is why I gave it the number 5 spot on the list. Really good gun, but definitely some better ones to come. Coming in at the number 4 spot, and I know this is really going to trigger some people, so hear me out, but it is the M1 Grand. Now just wait, hold on, stop what you're doing. Before all of you go at your keyboard in the comment section with your cheesy Dorito dust fingers, just give me a second, let me explain. So the M1 Grandy, yes, great weapon. You can buy it for cheap right from the start of Spaceland and Rave in the Redwoods. It's only 500 points, and it's great for racking up points in those maps when you pair it with the Fate and Fortune card, Scoped Dollars. And that is a free-to-play card, so you have unlimited of those. You already have them. You don't have to get it, or you don't have to buy zombie crates or anything. You already have the card, so that is good, and it gets you a ton of points. Super good in those 2 maps. It's really powerful on high rounds, especially when you double pap it, and it's even better on Spaceland with an elemental upgrade. Preferably the wind one is the one I always like to use. It has a decent amount of ammo and you can fire it pretty fast so those are all good things. Now, the reason that I put it at number 4 and not any higher on the list is because, one, you can only reload when the mag is completely empty, which isn't a huge deal, but definitely something to take into consideration. It's not very good for Easter eggs or boss fights. I mean, it's decent, but it's not the best. I would say the best Easter egg, maybe the boss fight in Spaceland, is the best place to use it. And finally, the most important reason why I have it so far back on the list is because it kind of faded away in usefulness after Spaceland and Rave in the Redwoods. I feel like those maps it was used heavily, one of the best guns in those two maps for sure, but after that I did not see as many people using it on streams, videos, nothing. I had not seen the gun as much, and I personally didn't use it as much, and that is why I put it at number 4 on the list and not any higher. Plus, these next 3 guns are kind of all around just great guns, and you're going to know why here in a few seconds because I'm about to tell you. So, if you're still pissed off about me putting it at number 4, now you can cheese the shit out of your keyboard. I don't care. Go for it. But that is my reasoning. So, moving on to number 3, we have the FHR-40. Now, this is a fantastic gun with only one flaw, which is why it did not grab the number 2 spot. First off, it has a super fast fire rate, and the recoil is not bad, so it's decently good gun. You don't have like a super fast fire rate and the recoil is so bad you can't use it. They're good balance, and you can use the gun well and effectively. It has super high damage, a lot of ammo, a huge magazine, and it reloads fast. So with all of those things, that means it's great during Easter eggs and it's great on high rounds. Super good for both. It's just an all-around great weapon, and it's also decent for point building because it's a ballistic weapon and not an energy weapon, so you can get collaterals with it. But you do have to get it out of the box, which is kind of the main downfall of this gun, which is kind of why it got that number 3 spot and not the number 2 spot like this next one. Its only really downfall is that it doesn't have the greatest range either because it is an SMG, but it's not really that big of a deal. Like I said, the recoil isn't terrible if you're decent at the game, so you don't have to worry about that too much. But having it in the box is kind of a crutch over this this next gun. But it is a great gun all around. Definitely one of my favorites, and anytime I see it pop up in the box, I'm grabbing that thing for sure because I'm a huge fan of the FHR. Now, moving on to the number 2 spot, which has changed since the last top 5 I made. This gun has re-entered the lineup and took away a spot from one of my previous most favorite guns, probably my favorite gun in the game. It has been dethroned by this one, and that is the R Evo. Now, originally, this would have been the NV4. That used to be my favorite assault rifle. I would always be grabbing that NV4, especially on Rave. You could buy it right off the wall, and that was like one of my favorite guns. But as of lately, I feel like they changed it up a little bit, and it just doesn't feel as good as it used to be, which is why now I prefer the R Evo. Now, this gun is a wall weapon in most maps, but I think attack and beast, which is a huge plus because that means you can buy ammo. It's great for racking up points. You can just buy it right off the wall, get your points going, and you have a solid gun that you can pretty much use for the rest of the game. Now, another really awesome thing about this gun is it has 2 firing modes. So now it has one that shoots slow for long range, and then one that shoots really fast for kind of a close-up. So it's almost like an AR SMG combo, and it's really cool that way because you can, like I said, shoot long range, or you can speed it up a little bit and just kill a huge horde that's right in front of you with that fast firing mode. And it also has a super fast reload, has a lot of ammo, and it just kind of feels good in the hands. This is an all-around good gun. It's accurate, reloads good, has good range, even in that fast fire mode. It's just good in any situation. It just feels like that solid gun when you have it in your hands. You just know you're good because this is a great gun. Now, like I said, the reason this one beats the FHR for me is because you can buy it off the wall in most maps, but in those 2 maps that you can't buy it off the wall, I would still be happy with either that or the FHR. But that little just nudge that this gets for being a wall weapon in most of the maps is why it gets the edge over the FHR. And like I said, just an all-around great gun, just feels good to use, which is why it gets the number 2 spot on the list. Now, coming in at number 1, the best gun in my opinion. Of course, this is all my opinion, but it also is my list, so if you don't like it, get the out of here. But the number 1 spot goes to the Mauler. That is the king of all guns, the king of LMGs, and every gun, I think, in the game, obviously besides maybe the wonder weapons. We're not counting those in this game. We're also not taking into consideration variants, but still, Mauler, best gun by far. Has tons of ammo and a huge magazine. I mean, a ton of ammo. Like, you can't imagine how much this has. It's a light machine gun, so obviously it has high damage, which means it's great on high rounds, and it's great on Easter eggs because it shoots fast, high damage, large magazine, and it's just always great for an Easter egg because most of the Easter egg bosses, you got to pump a lot of bullets into these guys to take them down, and the Mauler is the best thing you want with that. Toss on sleight of hand or whatever it's called, quickies in this game, which sounds like a dirty part of a movie, and also toss on bang bangs, which now that I think about it also sounds like a dirty part of a movie, but that is also called double tap for you Black Ops 3 scrubs, like myself actually. And that just makes the gun even better. Kind of reminds me of the Dingo from Black Ops 3, which is like my favorite Black Ops 3 weapon. So that's why this one steals that #1 spot. Good in every situation, high rounds, it's the king. Easter egg bosses, it's the king. It's definitely the greatest weapon, I think, in this game. Now, the only cons that this gun has are just classic LMG setbacks, slow reload, slow weapon switch, and slow running with it, but there are perks that can subside that, and it's really not bad even if you don't have those perks. So, I mean, chances are you're going to be grabbing bang bangs and you're going to be grabbing quickies anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. And the pros definitely outweigh these just small classic LMG setbacks that this gun has, and that is why it grabs the #1 spot, and it is my favorite gun in Infinite Warfare Zombies, hands down. And I know that we're not including variants, I already said that, but there are variants for this gun that make it a million times better than it already is, and it still is the #1 champion of IW Zombies weapons. But now it's your turn. Let me know down in the comments below, what are your top 5 favorite guns in IW Zombies? Do you agree with my list, or have you already commented letting me know how shit you think it is? Either way, head down to those comments and let me know your thoughts. I'm definitely interested in hearing them, and actually a little bit scared as well. But that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Be sure to give that subscribe button a slap if you're new. I would really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I better be seeing you in the next one. 50 likes.